Hi, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
This is Yall Be Good.
Welcome back to Yall Be Good. Who are we hanging out with back here?
Miss Ashley.
Ashley Marson.
Oh, that was a kitty cat.
That was not her purring or meowing. Ashley, you want to say hi?
Hi, guys.
Ashley's one of our awesome, talented stylists that we have here at the shop. Actually, you're the baby here, right? She's the youngest one we have here. She's almost 21. We're super excited about. She's more excited about that.
We'll post her. What is that thing called? Her QR code for drink money.
Oh,
You want to treat Miss Ashley?
you know what? That'd be cool. A little Venmo for sure. Who are we hanging out with on the pod today?
Miss Ingrid, our receptionist.
We're hearing Miss Ingrid's story. You want to tell them a little bit about it?
She originally worked in the nursing field, or she worked in the hospital setting.
She worked in a hospital setting.
And then she took a little break.
Yeah.
And then we pulled her out
Of the abyss.
of a tar pit. Like the Phantom toll booth.
Sure.
Like that scene where
Yeah.
the kid gets stuck in the goop.
Yep.
That was Ingrid.
Yep.
And then she came to us.
She did. She found us.
She came to us and we were like, yes, queen. But in all seriousness, it's a very emotional ride that I think a lot of us have been through.
Yeah.
And she's also known Ralph since he was baby Ralph.
Yeah. I've known her a long time, since I was about 13 or 11, something like that.
And they all called him baby.
I was baby Ralph growing up. Yeah. A bit of an emotional ride with this one. I will say there are some sensitive listener type stuff, so maybe some saucy language as well. But, we wanted to leave it in there because it really is part of the story. So if there are some younger listeners, maybe this one's not for them, but enjoy. It's super, super sweet to talk to Ingrid.
Y'all be good.
Y'all be good. Say bye, Ashley.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Hi.
Hi, Ingrid.
So my name is Ingrid. I'm known for creating awkward, chaotic situations.
Yeah,
Uncomfortable
bringing
situ-
bangs back.
Yeah,
both
bringing
of you.
bangs. Yeah, they were still short enough that I could use them today, but
Ingrid, you've worked here how long now?
2 years, Ralph.
Oh my Lord.
Guess what?
What?
It's my anniversary.
When?
Like July 4th, like right before the 4th of July.
Why don't you tell me about your dates? Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Oh,
Are you serious?
it's not my job to know the dates yet.
It's okay because I get awkward about
It's
it.
officially your job now. Hold on.
Wait, my job?
Ingrid, June 30th. We're still close enough. We're still close enough. All right.
yeah.
This week we're celebrating Ingrid's
Perfect.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
2 years. Oh, cool. All
2
right.
years that you guys have put up with my
Yeah.
what was I doing? Where was I going?
Your
Ingrid desk.
ADHD-ness.
Yes, yeah.
And your lovely husband is joining you today. Nate, why don't you come say hi?
He was gonna
Yay!
sneak his foot in.
Nate is he's an accomplished director.
Yeah, he's making sure we're all in view.
He is, yeah. He has made this amazing movie that we have here titled
Slain deer.
Slain Deer.
Buck to the future. It's slain deer as in deer, like an animal.
Yeah.
So buck to the future. Yeah, it's an interesting movie. It's an interesting movie. It involves his sister, his brother, his dad. His dad's pretty hilarious in there. My niece.
Oh.
Yeah, and no, Jackie's not in this one, right? No, he wanted my sister in there because he loves her acting. Yeah. His family actually did a Kickstarter, and we're actually like all about doing this movie. They spent weekends and many months recording this movie, doing all this movie, and they actually got it in theater for one day only.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like my cousin Abner was actually going to fly from Arizona. Him and his wife were going to fly here to visit just to go to the movie premiere. Everybody, you know, you had to buy tickets and stuff, you know, like we were promoting it and everything. And then COVID happened.
And it shut down.
Yeah, so we couldn't. So
We're going to have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
like right here in the background.
Working on a sequel, we're going double feature.
perfect. Grindhouse style? Yes.
Yeah, so.
All right.
And I have to be the voice in the second movie.
Yeah.
Because I said yes to being on camera with you guys.
I was going to bring that up, but maybe not bring it up. Because
Wait, we're gonna be in it too.
Ooh, you could. I mean, he would love that actually. No, I had told him no to be in the movie because I don't like being in front of the camera. Ralph's like, hey, you're up. And I was like, okay. And then Nate was like, you said yes to being on camera with another man. And I was like, oh man. So I was like, I'll be a voice in your
Yeah. Well, if you need like a hair salon setting or something, I mean, we might know of a place that you could rock.
There you go. Heather would be awesome in the movie. Actually. She loves horror stuff too. This is even
I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I love. What is it like? Actual acting or like bad, like B movie acting?
It's B movie.
Okay, that's
Not
okay.
good.
So it's just like fine. Line.
Line.
People, yeah, exactly. Yes, perfect. And people are still renting it on Amazon because we'll see like 50 cents come through. You know, like
Wait,
so
it's on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
You can buy.
Yeah,
you can rent it on
You can
Prime.
rent
Okay,
it for,
You can only buy it.
buy it.
You can buy
Is
it
it
on
$1?
Prime?
$1 or
99 cents.
99 cents.
No way,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. So we'll get a review here and there. You know, people love it, or people are like,
I'm gonna buy it tonight. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
I didn't
adding
know
it
that.
to my-
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy it tonight. I'm gonna
Yes,
watch it.
yep.
I'm gonna watch it as nightly viewing with my children. We're gonna put it on with the kids.
Like King of Queens every night. You just pop it on in the background. Yeah, so.
2 years.
2 años.
Those añitos. And we might go way back,
cute.
right? Like
So Ralph and I go way back.
Rafaelito.
Yeah, Rafaelito. I knew him as baby.
Yeah.
Baby Ralph.
Yeah.
So when I started, I was like, what do I call you? Because, you know, like I can't, baby.
I mean, you
Yeah.
could.
Well, here's the best part though: is the way that you say it
Yeah.
is not like baby.
No, it's like
Babe. It's like
baby. Yeah. Desk.
yeah.
Yeah. So Ralph and I go way back. You were like 8.
Yeah, I had to have been like 8 or 9 when your
I
family
remember because I was like 13 or 14.
when your family came to the church where my parents pastor, and then you guys were there for a while, and then you went off to do your own thing. You went off to do your own life, and so your sister was younger than you,
Yeah.
and she was around a little bit more. And she's the one that I fell in love with,
She's the one you wanted instead of me.
and
here.
originally wanted here.
She's la más bonita. and
No.
I'm la más bonita dos.
You're the lamb.
Yeah, no.
You're the lamb.
You say that so I continue coming back to work.
But yeah, and so we knew Jackie obviously a little bit
Longer,
more and
yeah.
a little longer, and then you, we had called her up to see if she would come in and work desk for us, but she turned me down yet again.
Yes, friend zone Ralph.
Friend zone Ralph strikes
Forever.
again. And then you came.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know what? Ingrid might come.
I have a feeling like you were supposed to be here.
Really?
One, I think Jackie would have fought somebody by now.
Yeah. Which is funny because growing up, it would have been the other way around. Everybody was like, Ingrid would have been the one fighting. Jackie was more.
No, I could see that.
And Jackie?
But when you get older,
Yeah.
you kind of like, you've already got that out of your system.
Yes.
You learned from it. Your sister didn't learn from it yet, so now she's that person.
I'm
she's
scared
like,
of her. Yeah, I'm scared of her and proud of her because I'm like, wow, if I need someone to fight, I know who to call. Right
You
now.
know who to call.
Because I'm broken. I got replacements.
Oh yeah, you're rocking new knees, new hips.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know she can squat me, and she's not playing around. We were doing boxing for a while, and watching her, I was like, oh, I was like, when did this happen? You know, like I was always, you know, the one in charge, and yeah, and now and I think 4 kids do that to you too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's 4
Well, and
kids.
then living life too, all the experiences you have will change the way that you view things and react to things.
Yeah.
And then as she gets older, she'll
Yeah, we're both
Sure, turn
learning.
into you.
Like that's why I tell her, because growing up, her and I we weren't as close as we are now. Like that's my best friend. That is, you know, sorry. But growing up, we were not as close. But I think it was because it was a lot of that's Ingrid's little sister, and she had to go everywhere with
Sure,
me. You know,
of course.
Like you, if my parents finally said, okay, you can go somewhere, but you have to go with your sister.
Yeah.
You know, so it was very much, we fought a lot growing up. And now I've come to realize, you know, like I'm not, you know, it was a lot of, you know, look out for your sister. It was a lot of, you know, like you should be doing this. If she got in trouble, I got into trouble, you know, so it was very much, and she was the risk taker when it came to the both of us. And I felt like it was always because she knew, like you know, like I was in charge when it came to us and stuff like that. So I was the one that I think that's probably where my paranoia started kicking in, because I was like, what kind of lie am I going to come up with now to get us out of whatever we're doing? What kind of sneaky, you know, tactic and stuff. So, yeah, we have a lot of moments where, I mean, I remember one time my dad was yelling at me for something she did. And I was like, what? Like, so yeah, it was kind of, but now growing up, I'm realizing like, I am your sister. I want to be here for you as your sister, you know? And so, even with the kids, you know, it was hard to be like, because I was so used to having to almost be motherly with her, that with the kids, I almost would overstep my boundaries when they were younger too. And that's just, I think we do that in the Hispanic culture. I don't know, but I feel like we definitely overstep when you become parents, they overstep their boundaries, you know. And so like my parents are trying to raise the kids. She's trying to raise the kids. I was trying to, you know, raise kids. And I was like, wait, I'm your sister. I'm here for you as your sister. I'm their aunt. I'm here for them as their aunt. You know, like, what do you guys need from me? And, you know, so her and I have like really, you know, worked. Yeah, our relationship is.
And we've seen that, especially from conversations that we've had, just how close you are to your niece and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
You're there for them.
Yeah, I try to be.
Yeah. And that's it's hard to recognize that, I think, when you're a kid, that someone is in your corner like that. But
yeah,
they'll recognize it.
We all joke that I am their biggest cheerleader. Sure. Any kind of any like graduations, concerts, whatever, they're always like, yeah, I can hear her yelling. And I feel so bad, but I'm like, I cheer for them so much because I want them to know you will always have someone cheering for you, always. And yeah, maybe I need to, you know, quiet, like my poor Macy. He was in football and he got to the point where he was like, like, you're there, it's okay. So I had to be like, okay, you know what? That's his boundary. He wants me to respect it. Let me respect it. Sometimes I'd be like, you know.
What are boundaries?
Right? I'm learning.
What are boundaries?
Yeah. I'm learning how to use them and how to set them up myself. So
we talk a lot about that, especially because I feel like you're a little bit more evolved as a Latina woman.
You're someone who, like you said earlier, you're gonna go to the football game and you're gonna love him, and you're gonna embarrass him a little bit, but that's a good thing. Whereas you're not gonna be like, there's a lot of families that don't have that, but also they come and they criticize the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's not who you are.
No.
And that's not just Latino culture. That's all of them.
I mean, kids need that. Kids need to know that they are supported, that they have people in their corner, that you are proud of them. You know, like, I mean, obviously you're giving them the tools to grow up, and even as an adult, and, you know, like to this day, I'm still learning. You know, it's easy for me to kind of like give my sister advice on what she should do. I don't have kids. How can I really give that advice, you know? So it's more like, what do you need from me? You know, like, I'm here to help you out. I'm here to help them out. You know, even with them, I'll be like, hey, are you okay? As far, like if there's something that, like an argument or something that happened, I want to make sure everybody's okay. Like what happens is when you don't have something as a child in your childhood, when you don't have, like, that's something that you take with you and you either use that as anger throughout life and that fuels your anger and,
bitterness.
And, yes, exactly.
Sure.
Or you take that and you grow from that. You learn from that and you use, like, okay, I didn't have that growing up. And, for a while, like, I was angry with my parents about a lot of things, but I'm learning also, they were also learning as they went.
Yeah.
Like, there is no book on how to be an adult. There is no book on how to be a parent, and so, and now I think back and I'm like, and they were struggling, I'm sure, with their own things, and so it's kind of like, between therapy and trauma,
It's a great time.
Yeah.
It's a great time to be alive.
Right?
I wanted to talk a little bit because your story is so powerful.
Inspiring.
It really is a story. And I brought you, actually, for the listener and watcher, this is Ingrid, the one we talk about all the time. As I'm editing the podcast, I'm like,
We talk about
we're
Ingrid
talking
all the
about
time.
Ingrid all the time.
they're
Yeah.
Well,
talking
even
about high
yesterday, during our last interview, we were
We
like,
brought
we
you
wish
up.
Ingrid was here because
Yeah.
you.
Was it when you guys were talking about putting castor oil in the belly
I
button?
did bring that up. I did bring that up.
I did it last night.
It is, I'm sure there is a bruja in Mexico who 1,000% advocates for putting
Maybe,
castor
and maybe
oil.
that's why all the bad stuff is happening to me.
No.
No.
No, but I think of your story and I think of a story of resilience. I think a story of overcoming. And I also think a story of humility because of how you are in your own person, how you don't necessarily feel like you're always doing 1,000%.
Yeah.
But from the outside looking in, or from when we talk, it is something that you're way too hard on yourself. And you need to extend a little bit of grace towards yourself and know that from here to where you were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
a different,
even
that's a
3 years.
different Ingrid.
Like how?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do want to talk a little bit about you coming. Well, let's start from you're working in the medical field,
Healthcare, yeah.
in
Long
healthcare
time.
for a while, right?
I actually got to work with psychiatrists and psychologists and stuff for a while.
Did you ask questions?
No, I mean, I was in my 20s. That was,
Oh.
that was Ingrid raw dogging.
You were feeling good
Whatever,
about
yeah.
life then?
Yeah, no, I was raw dogging all these ADHD and everything without knowing that's
Sure,
what,
yeah.
any of that was or what I was even dealing with. In my head, I'm like, this is just what people felt.
Yeah.
I didn't know any different then, yeah, because I'll sometimes even ask my therapist, like, do people really have like a quiet mind? Like, do they honestly, like, and she's like, yes. And I was like, seriously?
I
Like,
don't
Yeah,
know
I don't know
that.
how, like, I mean, he falls asleep 2 seconds, and if I like, it takes me 2 hours. But,
Yeah.
it was just kind of. I think I was almost meant to be there. So I started in psychology and psychiatry, and that's where my medical field started. Like working there and kind of just learning about a lot of this stuff. But I was in my 20s and I was not really paying attention to things. But also I was learning a lot about mental health.
Yeah.
And so I almost feel like my path was led there for a reason because I think it helped kind of open the doors for me to start learning. I didn't focus on myself or care for myself until years later.
Yeah.
But
you had some of that foundation.
yeah, kind of
to
to
kind of
start
push-
understanding a
pull back
little bit. Yeah,
from.
like, oh, I believe I do have ADHD.
Sure.
And I finally got that all diagnosed. But with ADHD, also, for the most part, it was actually depression that was kind of like the main thing. And kind of find out a lot of times ADHD gets misdiagnosed as depression because what happens, especially in women, they get overstimulated with everything that they have to do, and then they shut down, and then they stay in bed and they don't do anything for a while, for days.
Wow.
And then you finally go to the doctor because I'm like, you're not doing anything, you're just laying around, you're kind of miserable and sad and this and that. So they're like, you're depressed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like these are things that you kind of learn as you get older or as you kind of try and just figure yourself out. That's
Yeah.
our problem too. I think is we're taught not to, look out for ourselves. I mean,
Yeah.
nowadays we're finally doing things like that, but that's one thing too. I feel like growing up, especially, and I don't want to say like this, but as women, we're immediately raised to look out for everybody else,
Sure.
especially men. Not to like bring it down, but that's just it's just in our blood to almost
Yeah.
do that. It's ingrained to and it's never. I wish it was more. Love yourself, take care of yourself, so that you can
Yeah.
take care.
Fill
of
your bucket
Yes,
so that
yeah.
you can overflow into others.
Exactly,
Sure, sure, sure.
100%. I just feel like we need more of that, especially in little girls, to just be comfortable in their skin. I mean, even growing up, girls with girls, we create insecurities in others so badly, and and society already is bad enough with that too.
Yeah.
And, social media is horrible now with all that. So I just think starting young, kids need that, and, for sure. But like girls are just, like, hey, take care of yourself first so that you
Yeah, of
are
course.
able to kind of help take care of a family once you get to that point, if you
Mm-hmm.
do. So, yeah, I did. So, I was there for a few years, and then I went to Aurora Healthcare,
Okay.
and I was there for like 11 years.
Oh, you were doing that for a while. That was
So when I was at the psychiatric services, it was called. I was there for maybe 5 years or so, and then I went to Aurora Healthcare and was reception there for like 11 years.
Aurora, for those of you who don't know, is a big hospital around here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you started getting a little bit of that burnout, right?
Yeah. And it's crazy because front desk, you don't realize how much is. I mean, they're the first people that you see.
Sure.
They're the first ones that when you're not feeling well, that's who you're seeing. So the burnout starts there. But I think also my issue was I was carrying on a lot of from my childhood that I did not know. And so I just carried that into, what I was dealing with also at work. And then
You weren't going to like therapy or
No,
anything during that time? Okay.
no, yeah, pretty much like I said, like so once in a while, I was starting to get to know myself enough to know seasonal depression was becoming a thing for me, or was actually it's not becoming a thing, but I was
You're recognizing.
You
Yes,
were
exactly.
feeling, yeah, okay.
Come fall, winter, it would get bad. There were times where I'm just like, so, I was learning, like antidepressants and stuff like that was a thing that you could do, that you could start taking to help you through that. And it was okay to wean off once, if you felt well enough and you thought you could do it yourself.
Sure.
You could wean off. And so I've done that here and there throughout that time. But I was having panic attacks and stuff throughout my childhood and throughout, my young adulthood that I did not know were panic attacks even. I didn't know that, and so I don't know what happened that, well, so I ended up in the hospital like in 2017, 2000, hold on. So, because I'm trying to think, 2000, yeah, like 2000, actually like 2015, I ended up in the hospital. I don't know what happened, but they diagnosed me as a walking stroke. Yeah, so I'm like, somebody who's already pretty, like in their head.
Wound up.
Yeah. Like you're just letting me go is like, there's a possibility you're going to have a stroke one day, Yeah. And so I'm kind of like, so that I feel like opened up, because, so what happened was I felt some tingling in my arm. Nate and I were just watching a movie and I felt some tingling go on my arm and into like my face. And then in my head, I knew what I was trying to say. My words were clear, but for some reason I knew that if I tried to speak, my words weren't clear.
Wow.
So I tried talking to him and he couldn't understand what I was saying. And in my family, my grandmother, she did have multiple strokes. And so he knows that that's always been something that's been on my mind, of the possibility of happening. He said part of my face started to kind of droop, and because he couldn't understand me, he actually called 911 and an ambulance came. And by that time I called my parents and stuff like that. So I went to the hospital. By the time I got there, I was able to talk and everything. They ran a bunch of tests and I was fine, And then they discharged me, and I went home, and a few hours later, it happened again. And that this time he actually took me to the hospital. And by the time I got to the desk, I still couldn't talk. You know,
Wow.
like, yeah, I couldn't, like my words, I was trying, I could understand
You're
what I was trying.
garbled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very much. And so they ran tests, they kept me overnight, and everything was fine. I think they might have been some form of panic attacks. I don't know, because
Really?
a few months before that,
Oh, so they weren't stroke?
no,
It
no,
wasn't a
they,
stroke?
No, all the tests and everything came back. Yeah,
Wow.
I mean,
Okay.
they sent me to a neurologist and everything from there, and he sent me for a bunch of tests and everything too. But because of the words and the face drooping and stuff like that, I'm guessing they were symptoms of,
Yeah.
possibly a stroke.
Well, but it makes sense because you were so stressed out about the idea that you implanted it in your brain. Because
Yeah.
sometimes we can create issues within ourselves, and in our mind, it's all real.
Yeah.
But it's not actually
That's
there.
exactly what happened, and that's what opened the door to these ridiculous. I mean, the panic attacks that started after that, it made me realize I was actually having them before, but not as bad as I was. Because what would happen is I would get like a little tingling in my arm, or I would get like a little ringing in my ear, and I'd be like, is it happening again?
It's happening. Oh, sure.
Yeah. And so it would completely trigger everything in me to go
man.
into a panic attack. And then
Yeah.
some of them would actually become panic attacks. And I wouldn't know if it was a panic attack or if something was happening that was worse. So then it was like, because the panic attacks were different the way they happened too. One of them, the one I had a few times, was internally from like my feet up to my head, I would get cold. Like I could feel like the just ice.
It was like you're icing up.
Yep. Yeah, I could feel that happening and that happened to me a few times. So I'm like, okay, now that's happened to me more than once. That's a panic attack. One of the other ones was I would get like short of breath, and it would make me be like, am I short of breath or is something happening? And it would go into a full blown panic attack. Like it would just be weird where I'm like, I can't breathe. I can't, like, so I don't know. That happened a few times. Then a few happened in the shower. So I was starting to have them before I would go to work. And then that would just trigger the rest of my day there. Yeah. And so my biggest thing was like, I do not want to have a panic attack in front of patients or in front of people at work, like, so I would already go there on edge because I'm like, I don't want this to happen. They were happening so frequently.
But
at
you were
that
so
point.
panicked about having a panic
Yeah.
attack that it
Oh,
could
no.
cause
100%.
Yes.
Yes. And it seemed like wherever I had one, I almost avoided that area for a little bit because it happened there. So I was like, it's going to happen at work. And I'm not, and so there were times where it would start to happen and I was able to do something. I didn't know at the time, like how to calm down from it or get out of my head, like it was going to happen, this is happening at this point, and luckily, Nate was around for quite a bit of them that he was able to kind of just knowing that he was there to make sure if I passed out or something.
Yeah, of course.
Like that, nothing like that happened, but it got so bad and they wouldn't calm down. And then I would call in sometimes for them because I ended up getting FMLA for work because they were happening so much. So I could, like not lose my job.
Yeah.
But I would call in and then I wouldn't be able to calm down because I felt horrible for
calling
in.
in.
Yeah. So I was like, so at home I was trying to, calm down from this and I couldn't because then I'm like, oh, I'm sure in their heads they're thinking she's having, like this is nothing. What is she calling in about?
Sure. Yeah.
Panic attacks are such a scary thing to have. Like you don't realize how scary it is until it actually happens because you're really wondering if you're having a heart attack or something,
Yeah.
like you just don't know and they just come on so randomly that.
Well, it's just pure chaos in there.
Yeah. So I did start seeing a therapist for that moment. And I was like, what is going on? Because for the longest time, I had a lot of issues a lot of chaotic, I had work. There was a huge work issue that just kept me walking on eggshells all day. Family issues, like we were tight on money, just things. There was just a bunch. Things had all calmed down. We were good. Financially, we were good. The issues at work, like they had resolved themselves, so we were good there. Like my family things, and this was throughout time. So I was like, why now are these panic attacks like really starting to hit like this? And she said it could be because I was just running on a high on everything. You know, nothing. I couldn't. And now that all that's calmed down, all the panic, all the anxiety, and everything is that I was running off of is coming out.
Kind of releasing.
Yeah,
and-
And so I was like,
It's like a vicious cycle, you know?
And what she would do was try and tap into what some of the causes may have been for the panic attacks. And it sucked because I would go to see her on Friday and she would open up like those triggers, I guess. I don't know. And then for the rest of the weekend, I'd either have panic attacks or be on like such a high
Alert.
Yeah. And so I'm like, so I stopped going to therapy because I'm like, I'm not ready to be dealing with this, going through this again. Or, I'm just going to let things go,
Question. Do you see the same therapist now?
No.
Okay. So I'm wondering, like I'm not on the therapy train yet. I know I need it. I know I want to be on it.
Everybody's ready for it.
I think, but at least in what I've known, you can change up a therapist, right? Not every therapist is going to be the right fit for you. Do you think that might have been why? Like, it doesn't sound like that therapist is doing a very good job if she's leaving you worse off than when you.
Well, she said that this is what you need to, because for some, like exposure to therapy, that freaks me out.
It does. It scares me.
But I think but also I know that I actually do need that.
Yeah.
I do need to expose myself to things to really get over that. It's going to be fine, you know, type of thing. So it is helpful, but you have to be the one ready to do those steps. Yeah.
I know.
And so at that
Sorry.
time, no,
I don't want to interrupt you, but you talk so much. No. Heather is a big advocate for therapy, but I was going to ask, have you ever had panic attacks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that life at least, or at least.
Panic attacks look different. Like for her, my panic attack looked nothing like that. The first one I had was in high school.
Okay.
I was going to class and all of a sudden I got tunnel vision and I couldn't breathe.
Oh.
And so I kind of like ran into a bathroom and sat down on the ground and like cried in the bathroom.
Oh man.
And then at one point I was driving to work and I was just so miserable and I didn't know what to do and you feel stuck.
Yeah.
And so I would start yelling at myself and crying in the car.
Oh wow.
And then I'd be like, suck it up. Suck it up. Like I was like so mean to myself. I was like, you can do this.
Yes.
You can do this. Suck it up.
Yes.
And then I'm
100%.
like, but I can't. I don't want to. And then it would be back and forth.
Yeah.
You're
And it
like
was like
the little goblin guy from Lord of the Rings. Gollum.
Yes. My precious. Except for it was, you're a big girl.
That's kind of, he's got these dual personalities.
Very much.
Anyway,
I get that.
I've never, I know my wife has kind of have had some of those. And for me, it's just hard to really, I would say, I mean, it sounds terrible, but maybe even sympathize for that because I don't know what it is. And the more I see it, the more like now, 15 years later, like I am a little bit more sympathetic towards it. But I think for a lot of people, they don't know that it's such a hard thing for that person. Like it does feel like life and death.
Yeah.
And then for someone, I guess like me, who has never experienced it or been through it, or at least not in that way.
From the outside.
I'm just like,
When you're
what
looking
is
at someone going through it.
Yeah, what's happening? It's not that bad. But that's it's one of those things where it is a real thing and it deserves that attention.
Well, it's like everything going on in that brain, in your brain, and like the one thing that kind of broke it.
Sure.
If you think about like in your wife's mind, everything that she's thinking about, whether it's past, present, or future, like that's going on in her mind. And then there just takes one thing, and it doesn't even have to be an issue. Sometimes it's a smell. I know people who've had a panic attack over a smell because it takes them back
to a moment.
And
exactly.
it destroys them.
Yeah.
Where for me, I don't know. Like I don't know what triggers it or what has triggered. I mean, I think what just happened is things opened the door for it. But in that moment when they've come, there was no reason for them to, happen.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's even like, and come to realize I was actually having them all throughout my life. I didn't know that's what they were.
Yeah.
You know, and so Nate, Jackie, and I went to Cancun right before I ended up in the hospital. And, you know, everything was fine. You know, I surprised them with the limo. And, you know, like I surprised us with the limo to the airport and everything. And we were having a great morning. Got on the plane, had a full-blown panic attack. I did not know that's what was going on. I felt really sick. The plane, like we legit had just got down and sat down. And I started feeling really sick. I was like, I'm going to throw up. I was like getting like super hot and sweating. And in my head, I was just like, I don't know what happened that I think I even got blurry vision, you know, and they kind of were like, what's going on? Because also that was like still fairly new, you know. And then after the whole hospital situation happened and those panic attacks really opened up, I realized that's what had happened on the plane.
Wow.
So it was,
The worst part though,
Yeah.
because I have had one in an airport too.
Yeah.
Where that is the worst because like I was accused of being drunk.
Well, we were drinking, so that's
No,
why but we
I
weren't
wasn't.
You know, we had you know, but that's why I was like, I know myself. Like, I think we each had like a glass or two. You know, it wasn't even anything enough to like get me. That's why I was like, could something have happened? But they drink, you know, drink and everything too. But and the thing is everybody's busy. Everybody's busy in that moment. There was like no, nothing for me to vomit in. And I was like, I really thought I was about to vomit. You couldn't get up to go to the bathroom or anything. Everybody's like getting on the plane and stuff.
Oh, you were like
you're
on
on the plane.
Yeah, on the plane.
I
Like,
hadn't
we had
even
ju-
gotten my tickets
No,
yet.
no, we were on the plane. Like we just sat down, put our luggage away, and everything was like, okay, you know, we're good. But the thing is, I probably, because I panic for all those things, like I overpack, I overthink, you know, like I'm very anxious up to that point. So I think probably like, okay, we're here.
Yeah.
And it probably just kicked.
Well, that's
Okay,
what's so
now we're gonna
funny.
panic, you know. Like,
There's
yeah.
so many people that live in chaos and don't realize it. And so when they are no longer living in that chaos, they either their brain doesn't know what to do
Yeah.
or they create the chaos.
And that's pretty much what that therapist, the first therapist, was saying. I think she's like, you were running off of light, which you know,
Sure.
you know, and then when things all, because I was like, everything has aligned, you know, and that's what she said. She was like, you know, all that's probably coming out now that you've been just burying and numbing and, you know, so, what is the world's best boss doing?
The air conditioning turns off.
Oh, yeah, no. Don't make me start sweating because don't make me start sweating because then all I think about are the little sweat bubbles on my nose. And then I'm like, they can tell I'm sweating. And then I start turning red. And I'm like, oh, no, now they can see that I'm red.
Listen, if the Yall Be Good is anything, if the Yall Be Good podcast is anything, it's a safe space. So.
yes.
No, actually, the salon is a safe place.
We're not there yet.
Pretty
We're not there
much.
yet.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
In time. Okay, so that sparked your burnout, your anxiety. This was 2017-ish? 2018?
No, 2017-ish. So I could not calm down from the panic attacks. They were constantly happening to the point where at this point now I've run out of FMLA, you know, like, so but I remember there was 1 week where I had, like for 4 days, I had called in because they were just not, like, I was just losing myself at that point.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I could not, like, I was like, at this point, because it would just be, like, before it would be like a day. I'd go back to work, everything was fine for a while, you know. This week, I remember, and I was like, I just can't keep doing this. I don't know why, you know, and we sat down, Nate and I, and he was like, we're okay right now if you need to take a break from it all, you know, like because not only now can I not calm down and I'm freaking out about the fact that I'm just constantly like, I was in such a dark space already at that point. Like it was just, not only could I not calm down, but now I'm out of FMLA. And
now there's a financial burden.
Exactly. You know, and now I'm really feeling horrible that
You're letting your team down.
Yes, exactly. You know, and I'm like, this is, so, we spoke and he was like, go ahead and, you know, like if you need to do what you need to do, like for yourself. So,
Team Nate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I spoke with the manager, and I sent an email because, of course, here I am avoiding like
A breakup
Yeah,
text.
exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's not you, it's me.
And now, here I am having a panic attack as I'm writing the email. That So she opens it right away, and pretty much it's my notice. I was like, you know what, I'm so sorry, but I cannot continue doing this right now. Whatever. And she's like, can you call me right now? I was like, oh my god.
You're like, no,
please don't make me do
That's
this.
even
Yeah,
scarier.
Exactly. So I called her, and she's like, is there anything we can do?
Oh, man.
Yeah, like she's like, we have nurses, like that you can go.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, honestly, at this point, I cannot do this,
Yeah.
Oh, but that
So-
shows how much they love.
Yeah, I was surprised because she was actually not even like, so there was my lead, my supervisor, and then the manager. So she was not even around that much, for her to. I was actually shocked for that to happen. So
Girl.
yeah, I was like, oh man, I was like, well, that actually made me feel, because in your own head you create these. Oh my gosh, like that's one thing I wish I could go back and tell myself, is that your mind is your worst critic, your worst enemy. You're making it so much worse for yourself. You're making it so much harder for yourself. It's going to be okay in the end.
I know when you got that, call me, can you please call me?
Yeah.
Your first thought, she's going to yell at me.
Yeah,
She's going to yell at me and how I'm a horrible, awful person. Oh, I don't can't do this.
She's gonna
I'm like, oh my god, and yeah, I'm thinking she's gonna. I don't know what it was going through my mind at that time, as far as like what she was gonna ask, or but
Yeah.
it definitely wasn't. Is there anything we could do? I thought for sure, because at that point I thought she was just gonna be like, what,
you
you're
can't
past-
fire.
Yeah,
You're fired.
Exactly. Yeah. Pretty
And then
much
I'd be like,
no, at
I'm
this
getting
point, we're letting
unemployment
you go.
anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, and that unfortunately just closed the door then to a lot of outside access for me having to leave the house, And
You didn't have to leave the house.
No.
Yeah.
And so you would think, yeah, like, okay, this is where she's going to start being able to get better.
Yeah.
And I was put on medication. Well, actually, not right away. Things just got worse from there. It got to the point, I was at home and whatnot, still having panic attacks and this, and I finally got put on medication for anxiety and depression. And all throughout this, I'm still having panic attacks. And it got to the point where, and this is going to be so gross, but it got to the point where I wouldn't shower for 2 or 3 days because they were happening in the shower.
Yeah.
And so it was hard for me to convince myself to get in the shower and that I would be okay. And if I had a panic attack, I had a panic attack.
Yeah.
But I felt horrible because I got to the point where I didn't get out of bed for like a year. Yeah. And I put on so much weight. I stopped caring. Like and if you ask me what went on in that year, I can't even tell you. All I remember is darkness for that whole year. It was just dark. Like everybody else was functioning around me, trying to get me, and that I feel bad because I was really close with, my sister and the kids at that point, and I completely shut myself from them, from my family. I shut myself down from Nate, even though he was there, but I was just there for a good year.
It's like one of those video montages in a movie where the person sits still and the world just kind of keeps going around.
For real, yeah. And,
Jeez.
And it just.
What you said you didn't like? It just felt dark during that time. But what are you don't remember too much of that year? Like, what are you thinking laying in bed? Like, what goes through your mind?
What I did was I disconnected. I disassociated from everything. I would just be on my phone, just watching video. Like I watched a lot of YouTube videos to just numb everything. But what I didn't realize what I was doing was disconnecting from myself. Like I was numbing myself. I was not helping myself by doing that. I was just because I got very unhealthy in that time. I was ordering takeout all the time. I wasn't doing anything around the house. I wasn't being an active partner. I wasn't being a good family member or friend, you know, like I completely shut myself off from the world. I didn't want to deal with anything. I didn't know at that point, like how to even, you know, I didn't want to make any plans with anybody. I didn't want to be a part of the world at that point.
Yeah.
I was not, you know, suicidal,
Yeah.
but it was just very much like, I just want to completely go numb on everything.
Which in a way is kind of this weird silver lining, right? Like, or weird, for lack of a better term, blessing that you weren't feeling suicidal.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's the next step, right? Like someone who falls into that deep of a depression, that deep of a darkness, starts thinking, why am I even here?
Yeah.
Next step, I should not be here. The world is better off without me.
Yeah.
I can't get out of this rut.
Yeah.
Man, wow.
Yeah. And I mean, the thoughts have gone through my head, but at that time, there was nothing that I wanted to like actually take action, you know, for that. So, and it sucked because I'm on medicine and I'm still having like these moments where, you know, and also one of the medications that I had started taking was for panic attacks, but what they would do was completely knock me out for the day.
Wow.
And so
just make you go comatose.
And I almost started, I was like, I like this feeling in a way because it would actually quiet my mind for once. But it also helped me kind of not deal with what was going on in my mind.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's slippery slope.
Exactly, yeah. So it was just very much, it was like, literally, if you were like, what did you do today? I promise you, I laid in bed all day. And it was, it was just not good. I just had nothing in me I didn't have any kind of strength, any kind of ambition. And I couldn't even like convince myself to just get out of bed and do something.
Yeah.
You know, it was just and I don't know why. I don't know necessarily why. I don't know if I was giving up in that moment. I don't know what was going on that, you know, was happening in that moment that it's just, I think just having panic attacks like that just kind of made me scared to do anything, move, or, you know, like feel anything, because I'm like, so it was kind of, then it came, are you okay if I talk about your grandma on here? Like, so his grandmother sadly was passing away towards the end of this year that I was going through all this. And you know, I had been around their family for a very long time.
Yeah,
so I've known her.
You guys have been together
since so 24 years.
You guys were young, right?
Yeah,
like when you guys
19
knew each other.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've been together. So she was at this point already in hospice, and I was the only one out of the family that hadn't gone and seen her.
Oh man.
And unfortunately, it was like towards the very end, and there was just something that one day I was just like, I can't keep doing this to myself. Like, what am I doing? I'm just like, what is the point of life right now? You know? And I was like, the medicine's not working. Whatever this is just not working. It's not healthy. You know, I've completely cut myself off from everybody who's shown that they've cared for me and that they're here for me. You know, I've pushed everybody away. And so, and I was like, and I will never be okay knowing that she passed away and I didn't even get to go see her. So I knew I had been in the medical field long enough to know how to wean myself off medicine.
Oh, sure.
Don't do that without a doctor telling
yes.
you.
Yeah.
that
Look,
you can
medical
do that.
supervision.
Exactly, yeah.
Sure.
I knew not to cut that off cold turkey or anything like that. So I weaned myself off, and I forced myself to go and see, you know, his grandmother before.
Yeah.
And that was actually the start of me kind of being like, all right, you gotta do this. You gotta figure something out.
When, two things. It's weird for me to hear this story. Not that it's about me at all, but it's interesting to hear your story, because growing up, like remembering who you were as like a kid or you know, a younger teen, you were always so like, everything was laughing, everything was so fun, but that's the thing, like we never know what's under the surface for someone, because even you say you've been dealing with this these panic attacks in some way since your childhood, and so I guess you just never know what's under the surface for anyone.
No, like
check on your people.
Yeah. A lot of times they've even said those ones are the ones they've learned to put on a mask.
Oh yeah.
Because even though that's
I'm
how
real
you
good.
remember me, because that's why I'm so empathetic towards everybody's, because everybody's got a different story. Everybody's fighting something.
Yeah.
It's just, and that's what's so hard is like you feel alone in this, but you don't realize how many people actually do understand. They're just fighting a different.
But it's so stigmatized.
Well, but it's also
true.
it's hard because you have different kinds. Like there's the
I was
sad
gonna say,
kind, and then there's the angry
Everybody's
type.
fighting a different version.
And you also have people that are so overwhelmed with their own stuff that they don't want to deal with someone else's.
Yeah.
Or either they don't want to, or they feel guilty because they're like, I really don't know how to help you right now because I don't even know how to help myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then on top of that, also, I feel guilty even with like my family and stuff, putting this on them.
Of course.
You know, because and so I'm so in my head, like I will just deal with this myself. I
Such
will
a
figure this
people
out.
pleaser. You don't want to burden your family.
Well, because I'm exhausted with my own. The last thing I want to do is exhaust you with what's going on.
Well, that's what kind of sucks, because at some point in your childhood, you were told, you were taught that that's a burden.
Yeah.
Nope. Only be happy.
Yeah. Because how he remembers me, little does he know, there was. Yeah, I was
so much stuff going on.
Oh my gosh.
So much going on. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But that's what, a lot of people are always like, and it's funny because in my, I'll think back and I'm like, man, I want to apologize to everybody who grew up with me, I just want, and they're like, why? Like, you were always such a fun, I'm like, really? Like, that's really hard, because I am so sorry, because I know I made for so many awkward moments, so many uncomfortable moments, because I was so uncomfortable,
And it's crazy because you're in your head about it and we don't remember that.
That's crazy.
I told you that one time I remember farting.
I love that. As soon as you said that, I was like, can we tell that story?
We were at your parents' house and you guys always had decent house and decent space, so we were there. Like that was always kind of a hangout for that little while.
That's that moment where I had already left the church and you were like a group of you guys.
Yeah, it was like the
really
youth group. It just kind of became good friends. And I remember vividly being in the basement. It was like a lower level, right?
Yeah.
Because the lower level also went out to like the ground.
Backyard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
was it like a split level?
No. So the house is on a hill.
It's on a hill.
So when you see the front, it looks like a 1-story house.
Yeah.
And then in the back, it's actually a 2-story house. So part of it's dug into the ground, I guess. Yeah. And so we had like one little kitchenette down
So we were in that kitchen. And I don't know. I was probably 12, 13, in a very impressionable age,
with a huge crush
on
la más bonita,
on anyone really,
true.
anyone who
Yeah.
would pay attention to me. That's its own trauma.
He's a Bobby Hill.
Yeah. And for some reason, I don't know, we were all sitting around, we were eating pizza. I'm kind of lactose intolerant, so someone cracked a joke and I was laughing so hard I like farted.
I'm so mad that I was not there for that.
And I was like, and then everyone laughed. I mean, I didn't get like teased or anything for it. It was just amazing.
But what's funny is the reason why we brought that up is because you were like, and it happened in front of Jackie, and and I was so embarrassed. And then I told my sister, and she was like, I don't remember that. So in your head, you're like,
You're
more important than.
but you're thinking that moment was embedded in everybody's head, and little do you know, she was like, I don't remember that happening.
I do,
like,
Jackie.
Yeah.
I do. I'm still scarred getting over. I haven't eaten pizza since.
You know what's funny though? It's people will only remember how you made them feel. They're not gonna remember the farts.
Yeah.
Unless it was
because
so bad
do you know
that
how many
you
times that's
vomited.
happened to me? Where I let one out by accident. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened.
Don't listen.
We were talking to a friend one time. And it got so quiet, of course, right in that moment. And I didn't even know. It came out. I was like, oh, and I said, oh, I was like, oh, I grabbed my stomach or whatever. And then but I didn't say anything. Nate didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. And after we walked away, Nate goes, you totally farted, didn't you? Oh my God. He's like, he totally heard that. I was like, I haven't been able to face him since.
You need to just use the line from Bridesmaids, where I forget who it is, McCarthy's character,
Melissa
I think.
McCarthy's character.
She says, "You know what? I'm not even 100% sure which end that
Which
came out
end
of."
yeah. You know what? I'm at that point in age where it's just
flow with it.
You know what? I'm at a good age where I'm starting to learn not to care, but also, like
Conscientious
Yeah.
about it, but like if it happens, like okay,
yeah. But just about life, about things in life,
Sure.
things like shaving legs, things like that I would have never, growing up. There's no way I would ever go out, and now I'm like, you know what? You
It's
can't
not so
see
bad.
It. Yeah, you can't see it that much. So I'm gonna wear shorts today. Yeah, it's funny how.
I was gonna say part 2 to what I just said, but I don't remember what it was.
About the farting?
No, it wasn't about the farting. No, but and then when did I think it was a funeral that it was like a funeral reception that we went to
And that was actually one of the first things I went to, kind of
post
everything.
getting out of
starting
things.
to get out of things. Yeah, and it was hard for me to face, especially it's already hard for me to face that crowd.
Yeah.
That's the crowd that we grew up with as children, and that's in my head. I feel like they've seen a lot, and that's where a lot of my embarrassing moments and stuff have come, and that's all already in my head.
The trauma.
Yeah.
Well, that's even the Más Bonita thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, that's
Those
what I'm
are the
saying.
people who
Exactly.
labeled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now, not only have I always been kind of like an overweight girl in front of
Diva.
them. No.
Sure.
Yeah. But here I was at my heaviest, and nobody had seen me in a long time, and I am very much, just constantly clammy, constantly sweating 24/7 because the nerves of just, whatever. And that funeral happened, and I was like, dude, I can't, like, I need to be, or I don't need to be, but I should show face,
Sure.
But I almost didn't. And my sister was the one that was like, come on, like, I'll be there with you. If we have to leave, absolutely don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
We'll go, And so, I went with her, and my dad was there and stuff. And we said, I said hi to everybody and this and that. And sure enough, I don't know if you know this, but I left early because I started getting kind of panicky.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing you.
Yeah.
I actually remember what you were wearing.
Really?
Yeah, weirdly. I don't know.
What was I wearing?
It was like
This?
No.
Probably.
Well, in my head, it was like a yellow floral thing.
Maybe it was this in another color.
It could have been. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I do
That's
remember
funny.
seeing you.
That was probably the first time we had seen each other.
In a long time, and I think that's why I remember it, because I was
You
like,
swept me away.
since you stole her from the church.
Which they have not forgiven you for.
We
by
have
the way.
not.
Yeah.
We have not. No, Nate's good. People's. We're putting in good word with the big guy upstairs. And by big guy, I mean my dad.
Yeah, his dad.
No, and I remember seeing you and thinking, oh, I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
I promise you, the first thought through my head was not, wow, she's put on weight.
Yeah.
You know what I
Wow,
mean? Like,
she's fat.
no. It was like, oh man, I miss them.
Oh.
And how cool it is to see them.
Yeah.
And you don't, you're in your own world,
Yeah.
and the rest of the world has its own thing.
Like, I remember being super nervous to see everybody at that point because I hadn't seen anybody in so long. And that's like, and you just worry about, like, what are they gonna think?
Sure.
And at the same time, they're worried about what, like, nobody cares.
Well, and the only people who are making comments are people that are insecure about themselves,
Yeah.
and they've been brought up with
to do.
looks being like.
Yeah. I'm like, why is that still a thing? Why are we doing that? And sometimes I feel bad because I might be like, oh, you look good, and I'm like, stop doing that, because I almost feel like I don't even want to do that, because at some point, did you look bad that now you look good or something,
Sure.
or
Yeah.
like, I just hate
You
having
just-
to point
you
out
gotta-
looks now. Or,
No. Change it to you're glowing.
Yeah, something. Or,
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Like, You look happy.
Or I think I just overthink my words all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We all do.
But it's hard. It is
yeah.
hard because you don't know if that person's losing or gaining weight due to wanting to or
Or
because they're unhealthy.
diabetes, which is what was
That's when the diabetes train took over?
Yeah, so I found out. So that was before COVID, right?
Was it?
Was it before,
I think so.
was it before COVID?
I think it was maybe just before or after. Honestly, I
Now I'm
don't
wondering,
remember
because
now.
Now maybe I had already started losing some weight, and maybe that's why I was like, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
So I know it's weird, but I think that's what. So, that was the other. Actually, no, it might have been after, because that was one of the other things that made me finally be like, I need to figure out what's going on, because the situation, unfortunately, with his grandmother, and I started losing a bunch of weight quickly, which I needed to. Sure. But I know my body well enough to know that I've struggled throughout my life. I forgot that I have PCOS. You can use all this, but I forgot I had PCOS. I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovaries. Yeah, and that was in my early 20s, and I never really researched that. And come to find out, a lot of my symptoms were due to that, you know, and I was prone to diabetes, and I did not take care of myself in that time or whatever. And so I started losing a bunch of weight. And my first indicator should have been that I was drinking a ridiculous amount of water.
Oh, sure.
And
I have heard that.
I know that, and I don't know why it did not click. And so I lost like 80 pounds within a matter of like 2 months, 2 or 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Yeah, it was fast. And I was like, something's up, because I've struggled with weight all my life. So I go to the doctor, and she's like, yeah, your sugars are very high.
Wow.
And they've probably been very high for a while.
Sure.
And of course, then I'm like, so obviously I need to get on medication to get this figured out, just as I was starting to move around and kind of like go for little walks. And I was so, like, my endurance was so bad that I had to start with like 2-minute workout videos on YouTube.
Sure.
Like dance videos.
Yeah.
And that was like if I made it to the 2 minutes, that was like, okay, you know, like I did this. Like, that's how bad it got that I could barely make it to 2 minutes.
But you're starting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And that's exactly, like, that's what they, you know, like Nate would be like, but you're doing something,
But you're
you know,
doing it.
But I'm so hard on myself that all I
Yeah.
could think about was, wow, like that was only 2 minutes and that's all I could do. But she's like, we're going to put you on medicine. I'm like, I'm going to start gaining weight back, huh? She's like, yeah, probably. So
you're like, no, never mind.
No. I was like, no. I know I need to take care of myself. So the first 3 months, you know, they take your A1C, and within that first 3 months, she was like, I don't know what you did, but you completely like cut down. Like, we can take you off of insulin. You know, like, she had put me on insulin and metformin.
Wow.
And so she's like, we can take you off of insulin, and you know, like, and I'm like, all right, you know, and she's like, keep doing whatever you're doing. That's when COVID happened, because I just started getting out of the house. I just started going on these little walks, and I just started going back to our regular gym. COVID happened, and I was like, you have to be kidding me, because now they're shutting us all back into our house, where I need to not be shut in now, you know, because that's the last thing I need right now is to be confined into this area where I couldn't even leave the house sometimes. And so I was finally getting there. And so I'm like, okay, I don't want to fall back into that. So I would go on, you know, what everybody did. I take walks around the neighborhood and stuff like that. Yeah. And so I was staying active. I was using cases of water bottles to like lift weights and things like that. Yeah. So little by little, I was making, like, I still had my bad days, you know, but there were days where I was able to mentally be strong enough to be like, all right, come on, you know, like, just like get up and do something or whatever. And if you want to come back and lay down again, whatever. Yeah. So, and then by this point, he was my life coach. Sure. And now I had him 24/7. So,
I feel like Nate should be a life coach, right?
Actually,
he's got some of that.
People have been, he definitely has a lot of that. So
Nate's gonna be his own episode.
How I became a life coach.
Put me in, coach.
Exactly. But I feel bad because I'm sure I exhausted him in all of this. You know, like that's got to be exhausting when you have to constantly try and helps somebody see the good in them, the positive in them, you know. And so COVID happened, all that went down, and as soon as one of the smaller gyms opened up, I signed up there. Because our gym, like Experience Fitness, like one of the big gyms had completely closed down. Like they weren't reopening up anymore. And it was almost a blessing in disguise to go there, because when I walked in, it's a little gym. It's a hardcore, like that's where they had the tractor tires. Yeah. Yeah, that's where they had
Meathead.
Yes.
Meathead gym.
I don't want to say that because I'm friends with a bunch of them.
Are we talking about the same place, or this is?
No, this is no. This
not
is,
the current one.
No, not the current one.
Okay,
no.
okay, gotcha.
This is one though that actually I conquered like a lot of my fears there, you know, just being in a gym for one, because even Experience, it was like, I'm going to go hide in the dark, in the movie room and do cardio, you know, like that was my gym.
They had a movie room?
Yeah, they had a movie room at Experience Fitness, and it was in the dark, and that's where I would go, like work out and just do the elliptical for an hour.
I want that.
Yeah.
They would play like Home Alone, Jurassic Park, there was some bangers.
Dude.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah. And his sister was really into the whole gym thing, and I just started going with her. Yeah. And she was just starting.
Listen, we don't want to steal your spotlight with Bree.
Yeah, Bree will. The Lepores in general will. But she was just starting to teach me, you know, like some things here and there. And literally, COVID happened and shut all of that down. So I went to this gym not knowing really anything, and it was a small gym. Very little people, which I ended up loving, because I could be like, there were times that I was in there by myself, and then my sister joined shortly after, and it would just be us two. That's and nice. We could learn, like we would work on these machines and learn about them and stuff on our own without worrying about, because in your head you're like, everybody's looking at
people are
me.
gonna see that I'm struggling to no form.
So I definitely started coming out of my shell again there. But there were many times that I showed up there and started freaking out and leave, and I would leave. Yeah. There were times when I would start working out and start freaking out, and then I would leave because my breathing alone would I'm like, I don't know, you know. So there were many times that happened, but throughout that time, I met a lot of people that actually just benefited, that just made connections in the gym, teaching you different things there. Yeah. The tractor tire was like one of the first things that I saw, and they would take a sledgehammer to it. And I remember seeing that, and I was like, that is badass. I want to do that so bad. And the person this person I'm friends with, he put on Facebook, you know, I'm back at the gym. And I was like, there's a gym open? Like, where are you at? You know, and so he's the reason why he's like, come on over, you know, whatever. And I signed up, and him and I were talking, and he, you know, I told him about those tires, and he's like, we're going to get you to do that. I'm like, no, you know. Sure. They were closing one day, and it was just me and him. And I was like, oh, I'm going to run to the restroom before we leave. And I came out of the restroom, and he had the sledgehammer at the tire. And he's like, let's go. And I was like, are you serious? And I was by myself. So I was like, okay. Yeah. He took video of it, and my form is horrible.
We actually have it. Roll it.
I'll send it to you. No. But it's crazy, because little do you know, like, even just doing that, you start to see your form and everything change. But it felt so good to take that sledgehammer to that tire. Yeah. I mean, oh my goodness. And that
especially for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to go to a rage room so bad.
Please, can we do a salon event?
That's actually that's one of the things I want to do.
Okay, well, if you want to, then you might. Oh,
it's always, ask my wife. For the last 3 years, she's heard me say, can we open a rage room yet?
So when we get a bigger salon,
we'll have a rage room.
Yeah, do you have like a back room, and it's like, yeah, have a few different things. You just need to get one of these buildings where you can put different things in them.
Listen, I'm not going to talk about it on here because that's my idea.
Yeah, so that kind of sparked that little journey of like my inner badass, like coming out, and I needed that for me. Sure. Just to, because as hard as I am on myself, she needed to come out and just be like, no, like that's not how I'm gonna go down, you know, like I'm gonna fight
for yourself.
Yeah, big time, you know, because this is where I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to figure this out and kind of, And that just opened the door for a lot of things. Therapy.
Yeah.
That opened the door for all kinds of like trying to figure out natural ways to just find out what was going on with me. I had to send in a hair sample at one point to somebody, and he's like, you're doing 20 different things at 20, for different. He's like, how are you gonna know what's working? That's part of the ADHD. Guess what?
Just throw all the balls.
Well, that's your version of chaos. It's
Yes,
controlled
yes.
chaos. So you're like, I can live in this.
Yeah. But I feel bad because in the meantime, I'm still not working. Where do you think the money's coming from
Oh,
for all
man.
of this?
Nate,
Well, most
you're
of,
a saint, bro.
well, in reality, he was telling you were buying it, but then he's
Yeah.
going to the grocery store and just switching out the bottles.
He's catching it before it leaves
Yeah,
in the
right,
mail
yeah.
and just doing it. No, but that's one of the things I think that we talk about a lot because you are such an advocate for yourself
Yeah.
and for your health.
Yeah.
And we joke a lot about you and your slow-mo black and white gym videos.
I don't.
That's my
I
inner
think she's.
badass.
I think
Yeah.
she's so cool. I'm
But
like, I
that's
want
the
to be
thing.
Ingrid.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want a slow motion where like it's blowing up
I
in the
know,
background? Like,
I
come
know.
on.
I love it.
And
I love it.
you know what? And those videos though, like especially the very beginning ones, that was a conquer in itself
Yeah.
because I hate being in front of anything where I can see myself.
See yourself.
Because it's,
All you do is
yeah.
hyper focus on everything
Yes,
horrible.
100%.
And you're like,
yeah. So those, each one of them, even to this day, is still this is who I am.
Yeah.
This is what I look like right now. I'm constantly changing for, whether it's going to be again, some weight on or some weight off. Like I'll look back at pictures from 10 years ago and I'm like, why was I so upset with myself? Like I wish I could go back to that,
Sure.
So it's just even that gym was not only working, like it was helping me it helped me break out of a lot of, just conquer a lot of things out of, the anxiety.
Out of that
Your
darkness.
comfort zone.
Yes, because now not only am I, like, it would be times where me and Jackie would be the only girl. I would be the only girl. And, and it's like, I'm here. I can take up space too,
Yeah.
and I can, that gym never made us feel like, you're being judged or looked at, or you don't belong here because you're a girl, or, it never
That's
made
great.
us, feel like, and so they unfortunately closed down. And it's funny because Jackie and I were like, we don't want to go to like another big gym or something, like we're not ready for that,
Sure.
So here the fears again start over into finding a new gym and starting over. So it's crazy because it's getting out of that comfort zone.
Yeah.
Once you're in it, that makes it hard.
You guys, I think we're okay saying it. You guys have been going to Olympus for a little while.
Yeah.
Shout out Olympus.
Yes.
Here in town.
It's funny, small world, because the owner in the gym that closed in Racine had called Mike at Olympus and was like, hey, I have a few people who are looking to sign up for a new gym. They worked out, like, hey, like, have your members come here. We'll work something out. And because
That's
of
beautiful.
that, it was
Yeah,
really
community
nice.
at work.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that was really nice because, that gym, we love it there. Right now, there's what I love too right now is they're letting me take a break because of the whole knee situation. Not a lot of gyms are gonna, do that.
Like
And so,
pause your membership.
yeah, exactly. Yep. And so I plan on being back there again in a few months.
Awesome.
Because I want to. They have some, like I'm at Planet right now, doing things here, there, and there. But
It's
I
big gym.
miss-
It's big box
yeah,
gym.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
want that badass equipment that makes you feel where I can break my other knee.
Don't do it.
Yeah. No, but that just like little by little helped me get out of my, like getting back into, going
Living
back
your
out in
life.
public. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. And so at this point now, it had been a few years that I was off of work, and I kept on telling even though I was doing all these little things, I still felt like a failure. Like I feel like I'm not,
Where you should be.
yeah, especially at my age, like
my
I don't,
I know.
And so, I financially wasn't contributing to, everything. And so that was a big burden for me, no matter, he never made me feel
Sure.
any type of way about any of this. It was all me, and, I kept on telling myself I want to get back out there. I want to but it did scare me a little bit to go back to corporate because I was a little, I was a little bit nervous about everything being triggered again,
Yeah.
And so even after, and with everything that happened with COVID, and finding out I was diabetic with COVID and diabetes, diabetics, they have to really
So
be
you
careful.
came to the germ factory?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you
But that
decided
was-
to get sneezed
that was
in
after,
the eyeballs.
things have really calmed down. Yeah. Then, so this is already, so I've been here for 2 years. So this is already a few years that I was off of work and everything, and I'm like, all right, I really want to get back out there. I kept on making excuses for why I couldn't, go back to work and stuff. Interviewing, even applying and sending in a resume would freak me out. Like I would, so, and I would see her post, about things here and there, but Jackie was the one that for sure, she was like, hey, Ralph is looking for, a receptionist. And right before this happened, Nate's cousin, or actually his sister, once again, thanking his sister, she actually, before all of this happened, she was like, hey, she was talking to Nate and she was like, I want to, do some traveling or whatever. How would Ingrid feel about dog sitting, and that was getting me out of the house into the city,
Sure.
Whatever. And so something as simple as dog sitting, I was freaking out because I was going to be staying at her place. It's a new place in the city, driving in the city, all these things, all these little things because in my head, they should just be normal daily activities, were freaking me out. And that's why I was so hard on myself, because I'm like, these are not things I should be proud of that I'm conquering, because these are things I should already be doing. But little do you, that took a huge mental toll on me to force myself to get out of that. So I did that for, a few times for her, and then her cousin heard about it, and her cousin needed someone to dog sit permanently, a few times a week. And so she asked me to do that. And shortly after that, that was in April, and then shortly after that, you started looking for a receptionist. And it was nice to come here and okay, I still have to do an interview, which I was still nervous about, but I'm like, it's, at least I know him, and this and that. So.
And honestly, we would have hired anybody.
I'm here to meet his quota
of damaged goods.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much. But yeah, so but you guys have no idea, what me coming here has done just for me. Even just seeing, I was thinking, I was nervous. I was the thing for me too, the other thing that's hard for me is not knowing how to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I have to know.
Sure.
I don't like looking stupid, or I just don't like not knowing what I'm doing. So
Same.
especially knowing you now, I felt even more the pressure. I can't let you down because we actually know each other. Yeah, I know it's weird, but
No, I get it.
Yeah, you never want to refer somebody to someone and then they're horrible.
Yeah.
So I even had that added on pressure of that, and so I remember coming in here and still being super nervous about everything and doing that. Yeah. That took those two things, the dog sitting in the salon, for a bit, have helped me kind of help me do what I needed to do as far as taking care of myself on the back end, therapy and all that stuff still, while being able to do things here. And this has been therapy, even, just working with you guys. And it's crazy to me because the chaos in here would have overwhelmed me before.
Sure.
And now it's,
And now you're just running it like a
now
boss.
I just play circus music in my head all day. Because people look at me when they're checking out, they're like, how do you do it? And I was like, circus music all day.
People ask
same.
how do you do this? And it's I'm numb to all of it now.
Yeah.
I just say we're dead inside.
But even seeing you guys seriously do not know. I'm not saying this just because he pays
Well, you wouldn't
me
have
here
stuck
and
around
there.
this long if you didn't like it.
Yeah, no. The environment, for one, it healed so much of oh my gosh, you guys have, coming here has not triggered the anxiety and stuff that I was so nervous about.
Sure. I know when you started, you did mention this is my first time back into this setting where I got to answer a phone
Yeah.
or talk to people outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
You did mention that, give you some time, give you some grace. And
Yeah.
of course that was gonna be part of the deal. I mean,
Yeah.
that would have
Well, you
happened.
didn't even need it.
Yeah. No, you came in
Didn't
knowing
even,
what's
you just
up.
came in, you're like, okay, I got a job to do.
Yeah.
See, once again, on the outside, you put on, but on the inside,
Yeah.
like there's a whole different situation going on in there that you're kind of like, yeah. But I mean, to this day, if I make a mistake, I'm like, oh, come on, Ingrid.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm like,
And we're
dang
like-
it.
Well, I keep saying, like, at the end of the night, if the drawer's off, I'm like, I'm just going to start adding money to it.
No. For the most part, it's over.
It's
which
called
I'm okay
exposure
with.
therapy.
Yeah,
Exposure
yeah,
therapy,
yeah.
yes.
This is where you guys need. And I was actually exposed to a lot of therapy. But seeing you guys with the kids, that has actually taught me a lot about even just how to deal with things in life. Like I know it's so weird, but just like you're earning the kids' trust and things like that. And even for me, like for some reason around kids, I'd be like, hi, like I get like super nervous. My voice gets like, and I'm sure all I'm doing is scaring them
And this
off.
4-year-old's like, I'm not an idiot.
Like, why are you so shrill? And that has just taught me to be just calmer around people in general, just
Sure.
like I don't have to be so like, and it's been very much a blessing to come here. Like I think it was meant for my sister to have all these kids and she couldn't, come and work here. No, but
I think it was.
yeah.
We were
It's
all
funny 'cause
supposed to.
we told, we were joking just the other day. I was like, I know why Ralph hired all of us. It's like we've all been through some sort of trauma. And then,
We're the island of lost toys.
And then I was like,
She looked it up too. She's like, wait, I want to be this. I'm like,
can we say it? I was like, yeah. She's like, we're the island of lost toys. And I was like, yeah, I'm the Barbie, the legs, because she's built. She's
from the
put
Toy
together.
Story.
Yeah,
She
true.
goes, the hooker. I was like, yeah, it's even better that she's the hooker. She goes, you're thinking of Toy Story.
Yeah. Oh man, I never put that together.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a hooker.
Like long legs with the hook on it.
but I was talking about Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Sure.
Reindeer
Sure,
with
sure.
the peppermint.
But it was so funny because I was all excited about, and then when she said the hooker, I'm like, that's even more hilarious. Cause I would. And then she was like, you're thinking of a completely.
Yeah.
And then she
I was
looks
like,
it up and
hold on.
it is a dog.
Yeah,
It is a dog.
I should be like, hold on, let me go ask Nate if I've ever watched.
Have I ever seen Toy
Yeah.
Story? No, but I did
36,
want to
we
wind
haven't
down
even
because
peaked.
I
Yeah.
know because
Yeah,
I do
no,
want
no,
to
no,
keep it
yeah.
within an hour. I do want to just have you maybe
Talk about how the salon has,
cured you.
yeah.
Revitalized your
No.
life.
No,
Yeah.
you already touched on that. I think to end, I want to. What would you say to someone who's in that spot right now, in the middle of that darkness, not getting out of bed?
I know exactly what I need to say right now because I just had to say it. But what I would like to say is, as hard as it is to see it in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
you are definitely making. I don't want to. You're seeing the situation a lot worse in your head than what it is. Everything is going to be okay. Everything will be okay. At the end of the day, everything gets figured out. And what's meant to happen will happen. And so overthinking all of that just makes it worse, and not dealing with the situation, or I guess,
Avoiding it makes
avoiding
it worse.
it is going to make it worse because what you're doing is you're pushing yourself further away from the reality of things. I mean, even to this day, I still haven't dealt with a lot of the reality of things, but
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Yes, 100%. And that's one of the other things too, is in my head, I want to jump from here to here.
Mm-hmm.
I am not good with any of the middle work at all. And so baby steps are something that you need to allow yourself to be okay with doing. And even if you do like 2 baby steps for the day, like I've had, he tells me, he's like, give yourself spoons. Give yourself 3 spoons for the day. If you've managed to hit those 3 spoons, you're good. like whatever extra you do for the day, that's, whatever. He's like, but if you use those 3 spoons and like, and you're done, like be done. Like that's what and so just, baby steps is really like the biggest thing you can do. And the biggest thing you can do actually for yourself is get out of your head and just do it. Take that first step, get out of bed, get in the shower. For me, a shower like will completely change the way, like that. And that was the hardest thing. Cause like I said, the panic attacks were happening in the shower. But I know, like now I know enough, like if I don't get out of bed and get in the shower, I know my day is not going to be like what I need it to be.
Sure. Okay.
And so as much as you don't, like if there's going to be some days I really don't have it in me. And that's the other thing too, is be okay with that. Let your body's telling you it needs to rest. It need,
Or if you can't take a shower, brush your teeth.
yeah, something that will just, get
That's
you
always
out
a
of
good
bed,
thing. That's why I have dogs.
Yeah.
I can't not get out of bed.
Exactly. That's actually, very true. You have to take them out.
And then they love me so much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that is very much that. And because you look back now and it's the situation in the moment, it sucks.
Yeah.
If you're fighting with somebody, if you're arguing with somebody, if something's bad in that moment, it sucks in that moment. But once things calm down, like just, you kind of deal with it then, don't in the heat of the moment. That sucks to deal with anything, and nothing gets done in that moment, in the heat of the moment. So it's kind of like back away from it, let yourself kind of like chill out or go do, calm down from, if you're in the anxious moment or anything like that, step away from wherever it is that you need to do and just go be with yourself if you have to, or a lot of times too, you feel so alone. But there are people like your family, friends. There are people that deep down that if you need to reach out to them, you can do it. Like that. They're like, even with you guys, like I think we all kind of understand each other. Like if I needed to reach out to you guys, I know I can. I probably wouldn't, but I know I could. You know what I'm saying? But don't allow yourself to be so alone that you push everybody away that will be there for you. Because that's also I know it's like a huge defense mechanism, is pushing people away and stuff like that. So you gotta learn to be. This completely went away from where I was going.
Wait, can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
Who is your favorite and why is it me?
Yeah. Heather. I don't have favorites.
I think it's been kind of like a theme.
My ADHD totally like made me go there. I hope you have something that you can actually.
Oh no, we were done like 10 minutes ago. No, I'm kidding. I think it's been a nice theme of even the podcast that we just recorded in this one, of extending grace to yourself, like understanding one step at a time, one baby spoon at a time.
Yeah.
Understanding that it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, but it's also someone is available to help with that weight, and
he
find
talked
those
about
people.
a North Star. Like it doesn't matter how you get there.
Yeah.
You
Just
have that as a goal.
As your goal.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. Because what people don't realize either is being active, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, sledgehammering tires.
Sure.
It's as simple as going for a walk,
Yeah.
especially people with depression and anxiety and all that. A little during the day with the sun out, you have no idea how good that is
of
for
course.
you, or even just, I'm doing this new thing. I'm starting this thing where
You're sunning your butt. Your butthole.
I want to be in my yard naked so bad. I've been going outside to water my garden, and I'll take my shoes off because I'm.
Oh, sure.
You're reconnecting with nature.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, while I'm out here, I'm just gonna take my shoes off and
you're
do
grounding
it. Yes,
yourself.
Grounding.
It's grounding.
Earthing.
Yeah. But what sucks is that when you're in that dark space, that's the last thing you're thinking of.
Yeah.
But if you can mentally push yourself out of that, do something as simple, like that's why staying active, that's why doing something with the gym, it helps just kind of get you it gets you going, and the more it's not about motivation. It's about being consistent when it goes to that, because the more you do it each day, or the more you do something each day, the more you kind of like that feeling of like, okay, you know, I'm able to kind of pull myself out of this. I like the way I'm feeling right now, you know, not because there's a day where I might be like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna stay in bed, chill today.
Sure.
At the end of the day, I'm kind of like, ugh, I don't like that feeling anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like feeling like I haven't, you know. So I think just staying active in one way or another just really helps you kind of get out of that mindset, you know. And your mind is definitely
Your worst enemy.
yeah. You gotta. It sucks. People who battle this kind of thing every day, because it's exhausting. But unfortunately, you have whatever it is that you have. So all you can do is learn about it, you know, realize like what works best for you, learn your body, learn what triggers you, or what, you know, what helps you feel better, and grow from that, and take, you know, that's where, how do I say it? Like, I know, like, I guess get to know yourself and what makes things worse and what makes things better, you know, and try and just be stronger in your head than your mind in those kind of moments. You know, that's where it gets exhausting, because and as soon as I wake up in the morning, I'm already fighting with myself. I literally, by the time I get out of bed in the shower, I'm yelling at myself to shut up, because my mind's already going with everything that, you know. But if you can like convince yourself to just be strong enough to just get out of bed and do something like that is definitely that first step of just kind of being like, unfortunately you get to a point where hopefully you realize like, I can't live like this. You know, I have to find out what works for me and what I can do to get stronger mentally, physically, just keep you know, like, I don't know. But
Like I said at the beginning, your story is one of resilience and hope and encouragement. So
we'll see who I encourage out of all this.
too late. I'm encouraged.
Yeah, right.
Every day.
Thanks, homie.
And don't forget, Slain Deer Buck to the Future, available on Amazon Video.
Let's go.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of Yall Be Good. And as always, a reminder that we are a project of Little Lion Cuts. We hope you've enjoyed these stories just as much as we have enjoyed sharing them. Every family has a story, and we're just grateful that we get to hear yours too. If you've enjoyed today's episode and you think someone else might need to hear it, don't forget to share this podcast with them. And hey, while you're at it, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. That really does go a long way. You definitely don't want to miss out on any of the real, raw, and inspiring conversations we've got lined up. And we'd love to hear your stories too. So go ahead and find us on Instagram at Yall Be Good Pod, or drop us a message with your thoughts. And until next time, y'all be good.